Hey everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom. Good morning. This is going to be a video response to the topic that's been going around, Stop the Animosity, a pagan adventures in Christianity, defending Christianity. It's been a topic for the past few days on a few channels, video responses. I'm going to make this and attach this to MoonlitOpal's video. But I know Amanda Pearl weighed in, Marlonsuniverse weighed in, Wiccan Woman, and I think I watched a couple more videos as well. And I just want to join in with my opinions of a couple of points and my perspective on this whole topic. So here we go. So I think it's important for me to give you a quick perspective of what my life has been with Christianity. Many of you, if you are subscribers to my channel, you probably have heard this story numerous times. If you've listened to my blog talk radio show, I think I've discussed this as well. I grew up in a devout Roman Catholic home. I attended CCD, received all my sacraments, went to a Catholic high school. At one time, I was feeling like I was called to be a nun. Attended church, was a lecturer, read the scriptures during Mass, taught CCD class myself. I was very strongly believing in my faith until I went to college. When I went to college, I discovered other religions, other points of view, began questioning, seeking knowledge. Got married after college, graduated college, got married. The marriage ended not by, well, I had a choice. However, I feel that my spouse at the time really entered the marriage with secrets. I discovered that he questioned his sexuality and was really exploring the possibility that he was gay. Okay. Went to the church and wanted to get my marriage annulled, and that's where my relationship with the Roman Catholic Church fell apart. Want to fast forward some years when I was pregnant with my son, and I began seeking out spirituality, religion, something more than just what this physical world offered, so that I could teach my son that there is something greater, something more. And that's when I discovered Protestant church, Methodist to be exact, and began going to service there and speaking with the minister. Around that same time, I was also approached by a Jehovah's Witness and began a Bible study with her as well. Throughout those two, going to services, meeting, having Bible studies, I decided that being a Jehovah's Witness was more in tune with what I believed at the time. Fast forward a year, before a year, I was baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses and was fully involved with the Watchtower organization. Fast forward, and other events occurred in my life, and I eventually disassociated myself with the Watchtower organization and found my eclectic Wiccan path, which is where I have been for the last 9 years. Okay, so my perspective is going to be different, although everybody's perspective is different. That is the basis. And in my experience, in these 9 years that I have been practicing my Wiccan path, my eclectic Wiccan path, I can say that I have witnessed individuals, both online in different pagan communities, as well as offline in my life, who bash Christianity. they are just as mean as Christians I've met who have bashed pagan beliefs. And it saddens me greatly when I hear either do this, because I do truly believe that all paths lead to the same end. That whether you call God God, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, or Pan, or Thoth, or Zeus, that these are just our human understanding of what divine is. So it really saddens me when I hear either party bashing the other. I do feel that many Christians are misinformed. And I also feel that some pagans are misinformed as opposed to what Christianity is about. And that is one of the reasons why I brought together my group, which started as a circle and has now evolved into a coven, so that not only can we educate each other, but we can educate our local community, and I can educate people online about what at least my beliefs are, so that they can see that it's not really what they think I believe, and their assumptions are false. I want to talk briefly about accepting, respecting, and tolerating. And I've written an article about this in paganpages.org, and I will put the link in this information explaining what the difference is. And I am of the opinion that accepting, respecting, and tolerating are very different words, meaning very different things. And for some people it just might be semantics. But for me, it really, because I believe words have power, and when we name something, we empower it. And I feel like a lot of communicating is miscommunicating because of the understanding of what the words mean, or what our perceptions are of what the words mean. I believe that it would be wonderful if everybody could respect everybody's opinions and beliefs, but at least I feel we should tolerate each other, although me personally would love everybody to respect and accept. However, many people cannot respect and accept because they do not believe and feel strongly about their own beliefs, that there is no room for them to accept and respect other people's beliefs, which leads me to my next point about negativity and anger and animosity and rage. Carrying these sort of emotions or baggage or grudges or chips really does nobody any good. When you hold, and let me tell you, I've had some pretty crappy experiences when I was Christian, especially when I was disassociating myself with the witness, with the Watchtower organization. I really had some really crappy experiences. But I don't hold that against anyone. I don't carry that grudge. I don't hold that anger. I've released that a long time ago, because forgiving the other person really means nothing to them. I know that the people, the brothers and sisters of the Kingdom Hall, could care less whether I forgive them or not for what they've put me through. They go on their merry way. Forgiving them and releasing the anger and the animosity and the hatred and the rage that I had did me better. Because there really are, it stopped my own spiritual growth when I held on to those negative, low-level emotions. It stunted me. It made me stagnant. It didn't allow me to blossom and to grow. I had to release all that. I had to release the anger I had with the Catholic Church. I had to forgive those people as well as all the other spiritual people I encountered. I had to release that. I had to forgive them. I had to forgive myself for making poor decisions, or poor decisions as I would view them, decisions that were not right for me, and celebrate the decisions that were right for me so that I could grow spiritually. And this is true for any Christians or anybody of any faith or any belief or any spirituality or any religion. When you harbor the rage, it stunts you. And I'm not saying you can't feel it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, because I've felt the emotions and I still get upset. I still get angry. I still get disappointed and frustrated and feel betrayed. I feel it, and like I think Witch and Woman suggested, it's a transformation. You use that and move through it. But you, in my opinion, cannot spiritually grow until you release it. You have it, you use it for transformation, and you release it to move on. If you stay in that anger, if you stay angry with the Christian church, if you stay angry with individuals in that church, if you still feel that rage, it's, in my opinion, that it's going to stunt you and you're not going to be able to move on from that, because you'll always be looking back. You'll always be looking back. You won't be moving forward. And if you take 3 steps forward, you're going to look back and take 2 steps back. It is my belief that there are only 2 base emotions that we have. We have fear and we have love. And everything on the scope of human emotions can all trickle back down to those 2 base ones. When you're angry, it comes from fear. When you hate, it comes from fear. When you're disappointed, it comes from fear. When you are discouraged, it comes from fear. And when you experience love, and joy comes from love, and happiness comes from love, and all those happy emotions, all those things that make you feel good, pride comes from love, acceptance comes from love, all those wonderful, wonderful, happy emotions come from love. So when you're feeling something, I mean that fear is a lower vibrational frequency and love is a higher vibrational frequency, and being angry and being having animosity and feeling rage is a low level vibration, and that's why you're not able to grow and become more enlightened, because you're dwelling on the low level vibrational frequencies. But again, this is again all my opinions. I can even take this whole thought of love and enlightenment and even throw in the idea that Christians, if you look in their Bible, it says that God is love. That's the idea, that this feeling of love originates from deity. Not saying that the negative emotions don't originate there, because we are part of the divine, in my belief. So we experience these too, but it's also my belief that once we are no longer in a physical shell, a physical body, and we detach, there is no need for us to feel the negative, because we are no longer fearful. We are all knowing. We understand everything that we may not even understand now in these physical bodies, with our human mind that is very limited to what we can understand because of our experience. Different topic for another video. What really sort of bothered me about watching everybody's videos, and I can't remember who said this because I watched so many, they're sort of melding into each other, but the idea that Christianity is not a valid religion, or Christianity cannot be respected or that cannot be tolerated, that bothers me, because I think Amanda Pearl pointed out, if you can't do that for someone else's beliefs, if you can't at least tolerate Christianity, then how can we as pagans demand that from the Christians? They need to accept our beliefs. They need to tolerate our beliefs. They need to respect our pagan beliefs. But we are not going to do the same for them. I mean, isn't that the definition of hypocrisy? I'm not sure, I didn't look it up, but to me that really smells and looks like hypocrisy. And for me, personally, I can't be a hypocrite. I strive to maintain my personal integrity. So if I can't at least tolerate someone else's beliefs and spread tolerance and hopefully acceptance, then I'm not going to demand that of someone else. I just can't do that. I cannot be a hypocrite. Going on that whole thought process, Christianity, we're using a very broad term. Christianity encompasses so many different beliefs. For example, you look this up. Go online and look for a list of Christianity, religions that fall under Christianity. These are only a few. Roman Catholic, Protestants, Eastern Orthodox, the Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witnesses, Jewish Christians. And then each of those terms, those are only some, also have things that fall under that. For example, Christianity, then you have Protestants, then you have so many different denominations of Protestants, like Lutheran, Presbyterian, Methodist, Baptist, Pentecostal, Quakers, and those are only this much of Protestants. And all these religions are Christians. They're all Christian. Do you see the scope of what we're talking about? And in the end, everybody has choices. Everybody has opinions. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I think Amanda Pearl said, you know, if you're listening to someone who's talking about their beliefs and bashing yours, you have the choice to walk away. You have the choice to not listen. You have the choice to not watch. You have the choice not to engage. You have the choice to not accept. You have the choice to not respect. You have the choice to not tolerate. You do. You have many choices in life. And for me, if I meet someone, if I hear a philosophy, if I hear a religious point of view that does not resonate with me, then I choose not to listen anymore instead of getting all riled up. It does me no good, personally. There's a lot of negativity out there if you want it. There's a lot of negativity and anger and frustration and disappointment if you wish to seek it out. I wish to be happy. I wish to be joyful. I wish to spread love and peace and harmony. And I do accept Christianity's beliefs. I accept them. And because I accept them and I understand them, not saying that Christianity is where I feel I belong, all of their beliefs don't resonate with me. But I respect that they believe them, because I believe all paths come to the same end. I expect them to accept me and my beliefs. So those are my 2 cents, or 25 cents, and this is a wonderful conversation, and I look forward to watching more of these videos. And as always, I love you. Et Spiritui Sancto, sicut